When you walk through a forest or pass by a garden, it's easy to see plants as static, silent organisms, just there to grow and provide shade, food, or decoration. But what if I told you that these plants are far from silent? Beneath the surface and through the air, plants are constantly communicating in ways that scientists are only beginning to understand. From sharing nutrients to warning each other of danger, plants have developed a complex and fascinating system of communication. Today, we're diving into the secret language of plants. A world where trees whisper through underground networks and flowers use scent to send messages across their ecosystems. Let's start underground with one of the most extraordinary discoveries in plant science, the wood wide web. This term refers to the vast underground network of fungi that connects the roots of trees and plants. These fungi form symbiotic relationships with the plants, exchanging nutrients for sugars. But their role goes far beyond a simple trade. Through this network, trees and plants can actually share information and resources with one another. Imagine an old towering tree in the middle of a forest. This mother tree doesn't just hoard nutrients for itself. Through the fungal network, it sends excess sugars and nutrients to smaller saplings struggling to grow in the shade. It's like a parent nurturing its offspring, ensuring the next generation of the forest thrives. But it doesn't stop there. The wood wide web is also a warning system. If a tree is under attack by pests, it sends out chemical signals through the fungal network to alert neighboring trees. These nearby trees respond by producing defensive chemicals, like toxins in their leaves, to make themselves less appetizing to the pests. This level of cooperation and communication challenges the idea of plants as solitary beings. Instead, they're part of a highly interconnected community. While the underground world is fascinating, the story above ground is just as incredible. Plants can release chemicals into the air as a form of communication. For example, when a plant is being eaten by herbivores, it releases volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, into the air. These VOCs act as a distress signal, warning nearby plants to prepare for the threat. Neighboring plants might respond by ramping up their own chemical defenses, producing compounds that make their leaves bitter or even toxic to the pests. But plants don't just warn each other, they can also call for help. Some plants, when attacked, release specific chemicals that attract the natural enemies of their attackers. For instance, a tomato plant under siege by caterpillars can release chemicals that attract parasitic wasps. These wasps lay their eggs inside the caterpillars, effectively neutralizing the threat. It's a brilliant survival strategy, almost like the plant placing an emergency call for reinforcements. Now let's talk about flowers. While flowers may seem like passive beauties meant to decorate the world, they are actually master communicators. Their vibrant colors, intricate shapes, and sweet scents are all messages aimed at pollinators like bees, butterflies, birds, and even bats. Bees, for instance, see ultraviolet light, which humans cannot. Many flowers have evolved UV patterns on their petals that guide bees straight to their nectar. These patterns act like landing strips, making it easier for bees to find food and, in the process, carry pollen from one flower to another. This relationship benefits both the pollinators and the plants, enabling the cycle of reproduction to continue. Some plants even resort to trickery. Certain orchids mimic the appearance and scent of female insects to attract male insects. Fooled by the deception, the males attempt to mate with the flower and end up transferring its pollen. This kind of evolutionary ingenuity highlights just how resourceful plants can be when it comes to communication. But communication doesn't stop with pollination. Plants also interact with their environment in other ways. For example, when faced with environmental stress like drought or extreme temperatures, plants produce specific VOCs to signal distress. Neighboring plants pick up on these signals and adjust their physiology to prepare for similar conditions. It's a survival mechanism that benefits the entire community. Even within a single plant, communication is happening. When a leaf is damaged, say by an insect bite, electrical signals are sent through the plant's tissues to warn other parts of the plant. Yes, you heard that right. Plants have an electrical signaling system. It's not the same as a nervous system in animals, but it serves a similar purpose, coordinating the plant's response to threats. The more we learn about plant communication, the more we realize how sophisticated these organisms are. Advances in science, like gas chromatography and molecular imaging, have allowed researchers to study the chemical and electrical signals plants use. Time-lapse photography has revealed movements and changes in plants that occur too slowly for us to notice in real time. Understanding plant communication has profound implications for agriculture and conservation. For instance, by mimicking natural plant signals, farmers could reduce the need for chemical pesticides, which harm ecosystems. Imagine using plants' own chemical defenses to naturally repel pests or enhance crop resilience to climate change. Plants also teach us a valuable lesson about the interconnectedness of life. The fungal networks, chemical signals, and intricate pollination strategies all remind us that no organism exists in isolation. Just like us, plants depend on relationships to survive and thrive. The next time you walk through a forest or sit in a garden, pause and think about what's happening around you. Beneath your feet, trees might be exchanging nutrients through underground fungal networks. In the air, plants might be releasing invisible signals to warn of danger or call for help. And all around, flowers are sending their messages to pollinators, ensuring the next generation of plants will flourish. Plants may not have voices, but their ability to communicate is a powerful reminder of nature's complexity and ingenuity. They teach us that even the quietest members of our world have stories to tell, if only we take the time to listen. So the next time you see a plant, don't underestimate it. That tree, that flower, that blade of grass, they're all part of an ancient, intricate conversation that's been happening long before humans arrived. And in many ways, plants hold the key to understanding life itself.